You're solving the proportions. So on number 1, what is x?
48.
What does x have to be? 40 what?
48.
48. Is she correct?
Yes.
What about number 2? What is x in number 2? That one might not be quite as easy just to see it. Ridley.
2.
I don't think so. It's not going to be 2. What's it going to be, Cadence?
12.5.
12.5. How did you get it?
Well, I did 5 times 5, and
Uh-huh.
then I divided that by 2.
So you cross multiplied there, and x equals 25 divided by 2, or 12.5. Absolutely correct. That is the way to do that one. This one here was kind of easy. You could tell by looking at it. To go from 3 to 9, it was multiplied by 3. That one you could see. Number 2, you didn't just see it straight off. What about number 3? What's the value of x in the proportion on number 3? Are you going to have to cross multiply again? Madison, what is x?
10.
And here's what's happening. You have to cross multiply. So I have 12x equals 15 times 8, which is 120. Okay. And then you have to solve for the x. Divide by 12 on both sides, and you get x equals 10. What about the last one here? Number 4, what is the value of x?
5.5.
5.5?
Yeah. Yep.
Good, you're right. Okay, just a little bit of a review, a spiral review there, just making sure we remember how to do proportions, okay? Okay, let's see what else you remember. Identify the parallel lines. We have, and our lines are labeled K, L, and M. So which ones are parallel in our notes here? Shelby.
K and L.
Okay, Shelby says line K and line L.
Do we have
Okay.
to put that if like those
Is she
lines?
correct? Okay, the only way that I know I'm talking about lines is if I wrote out the words lines K and lines L, or I can use the symbol that tells me that I'm talking about a line. Okay, either way, but I have to do one or the other. Okay, what this says identify the transversal. Well, there's only one thing left there. And so is line M a transversal? Okay, the question might be, what is a transversal? This is true. M is a transversal. But how do you know that M's a transversal? By definition, what's a transversal? What's happening? You might even look, and you don't even have to know the definition, the mathematical, but you can tell by the picture. I'm telling you it is. So what do you think it means?
Going through parallel lines.
It is a line that intersects 2 parallel lines. That is true. Is there anything else going to be important about a transversal? Or, no. It's any line that intersects 2 parallel lines. Okay? Okay? How many angles are formed by the intersection of the transversal there? How many angles are being formed? Now, I know I've got a lot of kiddos that can count. So, Mr. Austin, how many angles are formed?
8.
8. Good. Good. giving a measurement. If I put the angle sign there, I'd be talking about this one specifically. This is just, there are 8 angles formed by that transversal. Okay? So far, so good?
There's a number 4. Yeah.
Which of the angles are congruent? Now, what's it mean to be congruent, ladies and gentlemen? The same. So, which of the angles are congruent? Give me a pair of congruent ones.
1 and
Angle 1 and angle 8 are congruent? Is he correct, folks?
Yes.
How do you know that?
Because they're the same angle.
How do you know they're the same, though? You are absolutely correct, but how do you know it? See, the thing in geometry, you have to be able to prove it. Okay? And I'm not telling you they're drawn to scale, but there's a reason why you know that. Do you know what that is? Not sure. Olivia?
Because it's using the same line.
Okay. They're both found along the transversal. That's correct. That's part of it. Joey?
Both the angles are made by the transversal and the parallel lines.
That is true.
Isn't it like something? It's called something where it's like
P. It's
like the opposite corners.
yeah, that's what I've been thinking. I've been trying to
They
think of that.
are opposite corners.
What is that called? It's on Excel. I remember doing it.
Like out there.
You're getting there.
I'm pretty sure it's such a.
Okay, they lie along the transversal. They are on opposite sides. We call them alternate.
Interior.
Are they
Yeah.
interior or exterior?
Exterior.
Alternate exterior, and we'll explain that. This is alternate exterior. Okay, think of it this way. Think of it like this. This here is the road. Okay, see my road? Different color. Okay? Inside there is the road. Okay? Go back. All right. Now then, neither one of them are in the road. Okay? Do you see your transversal here? The transversal comes across right here. There's the transversal. All right? Now, if we're talking about this one and this one, they're on opposite sides or alternate sides of the transversal, and they're outside of the road. That's why we call them alternate exterior. And alternate exterior angles will always be congruent. Okay? What other angles up there that you see are congruent? Chase. 7 and 2, angle 7 and angle 2. Okay, why are 7 and 2? You are correct. Why? Very good. Alternate interior is correct. They are on opposite sides of the transversal, and they're both inside the road. Alternate interior. Good. What else do you see there that are congruent? Ridley.
7 and 4.
Angle 7 and angle 4. Why?
They're vertical.
There you go. Angle 7 and angle 4 are vertical. I agree with that. They're congruent. What else? What else, Joey?
6 and 3.
Okay, what about 6 and 3?
They're alternate interior.
Angle 6 and angle 3 are alternate interior. Good. Do I have any more? Do I have any more? Cadence?
5 and 2.
Angle 5 and angle 2. Why, Cadence?
They're vertical.
There we go. Angle 5 and angle 2 are vertical. Good. Lily,
5 and 4.
5 and 4, why?
They're alternate exterior.
There you go. Good. Anybody else? Lindsay,
3 and 8.
3 and 8, why?
They're vertical.
You got it. G,
1 and 6.
I gotta see it. Why?
They're vertical.
You got it.
Remember doing this on my
Yeah, I used to have like all
They're
these
pretty
things
simple
memorized.
here.
Yeah.
Is this simple? Now there are more, aren't there?
Yeah.
There are some more of those. All right? This is the kind of stuff that we're going to be doing. You will find measures of angles formed by parallel lines and transversals. Parallel lines and transversals. When a transversal intersects the parallel lines, corresponding angles are congruent. Okay? Notice and I hope, did the color print for you on yours? Good. So you've got your red. Okay, now this is a little bit different. These two are corresponding. They are located in the same place. This is one of my parallel lines. This is my transversal. We're going to call this one here 1, and I'm going to put this one as 2. 1 and 2 there are corresponding. They're located in the same place along opposite lines of the opposite ones of the parallel. You know what I'm saying? Opposite the other, opposite, yeah. Anyway, but they're in the same place along the transversal. If you look at their location, they're going to be congruent. Okay. Now we know that like number 1, and we're going to call. It's going to be weird. We know that 1 and 3 are vertical. So if I knew the measure of angle 1, would I know the measure of angle 3?
Yeah.
Sure. If I knew the measure of angle 1, could I find the measure of, we're going to call this one 4.
Yeah.
Could I find the measure of 4?
Yes.
We're going to call this one 2, 6, 7, 8. There we go. If I knew what angle 4 was, would I know what angle 6 was?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you see how if I just know one of those angles, I can find every angle that's there, all 8 of them. And that's the kind of stuff we're going to be doing. Okay? Okay, so with that being said, we're going to use this figure to find the measures of angle 1 and angle 2. Okay? Now, if the picture looks like this and if your eyes struggle with seeing it, turn your paper where you can see the road and you can see the transversal if you have to. Because sometimes that visual is hard to do. It is for me. I'll tell you that right now. Now, if I know this angle is 110 degrees, how do I find angle 1 or angle 2? How am I going to know what one of those is? Joey.
For angle 2, what you can do is you can do 180 minus 110, so you can get the one above the 110, and that would be 70.
Now you said on angle 2?
No, on the 100. Yeah, this is for angle 2.
Okay.
And so.
Oh, you're saying
Yeah,
from this one,
from this one you can subtract it by 180, and then you get angle 2.
and I get 70 degrees, right?
Yep.
Now, if this one's 110, then you're saying this one is 70? And you're saying then that is also angle 2?
Yes.
How do you know it? You're right.
Because, it wouldn't be alternate exterior.
Nope. Nope. You are correct, but you got to prove it. You are correct. G, can you prove it?
Is that 70 and 2 are the same?
Uh-huh.
First of all, we're saying they will obviously, but I don't know.
What's the proof to it? I'm gonna come over here to Lindsay.
They're corresponding.
They're corresponding, good. That was what you were looking for, wasn't it?
Yeah, I just figured out that.
Yep. This angle here and here are corresponding angles. They are both located along their parallel line at the same part or point of the transversal. Okay? So angle 2 equals 70 degrees. What about angle 1? What does it measure? What does angle 1 measure? If I know angle 2 is 70 degrees, Dakota, what is angle 1? If I know that angle 2 measures 70 degrees, what is the measurement of angle 1?
Just take 180 minus 70, 110.
110 degrees, good. You can take for angle 1, you can say 180 minus 70 equals 110 degrees. Or you could say angle 1 and the given 110 degrees are, what do we call those?
Corresponding.
Corresponding. Okay. They only gave me one, but I can find all of the others. The biggest thing on this chapter is going to be understanding the proofs, because if you get the proofs, everything else it's easy. Knowing what corresponding are, knowing what vertical are, knowing what adjacent are, supplementary, complementary, those are all terms that you need to know and understand, because that's going to allow you to prove what you think. All right, get a little bit of a different. Find the measure of the angle and explain your reasoning. What is the measure of angle 1? What is the measure of angle 1? What is it going to be, Natalie? 63 degrees, Natalie?
They're corresponding.
What's it corresponding with? Angle 1 and the, okay, so we'll call it the given.
Because they're both located the same.
Good. Angle 1 and the given are corresponding. This is going to be some stuff that you do on your assignment today. And you've got to prove it. Okay? What is the measure of angle 2? I want somebody that's not been asked answering. What is the measure of angle 2? Molly, what's the measure of angle 2? 117 degrees. How do you know that?
Because 180 minus 2 is 50.
You are correct. What kind of angles do we call angle 1 and 2? They're what type of angles? Supplementary. Good. Angle 1 and angle 2 are supplementary. That's my proof. That is my proof right there. Use the figure to find the measures of the numbered angles. You have to find all of them. So the best way to organize this would be angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, angle 4, angle 5, angle 6, angle 7. You got to find the measures of every one of those. Who wants to get us started? Who wants to start us out? Madison.
Angle 1 is 75 degrees because it's
Okay. She says 75 degrees because it is a vertical angle. She is correct. So I know this one. She is correct. Those two are vertical. I want somebody else. Ah, Mr. Justin, give me another one.
Angle 3 is 105 degrees.
How do you know that, Justin?
Because if you take 180 minus 75, you get 105.
And those two are what type of angles?
Supplementary.
Okay. These two are supplementary, so they have to equal 180. Good job. Haley.
Number 2, since it is vertical, to number 3 is the same, so it'd be 105 degrees.
Because angles 2 and 3 are vertical, angle 2 has to be 105 degrees. Awesome. Awesome. I got some more kiddos coming into this discussion. I like that even better. Lily,
Number 4 is 75 degrees.
how do you know that?
Because corresponding to number 1.
Number 4, angle 4 and angle 1 are corresponding, therefore they have to be equal. Good job.
Couldn't it also be an
Alternate
alternate interior?
interior to which one?
With given a
With the given. Yes, that's another reason. Good job, both of you. Okay? Ridley.
Angle 5 is 105 degrees.
Why?
It's an alternate interior angle with 3.
Alternate interior with angle 3. That is true. Is it also corresponding to angle 2?
Yep.
Okay. Justin, I've got you woke up, haven't I? Tell me one.
Alright, number 6 is 75 degrees because it's alternate exterior with number 1.
Good. I want one more. One more. Michael, what's angle 7? Yes, you do. I know you do. What do you know if, let me ask you this, Michael. If we say angle 1 and the given are vertical angles, and I could tell you angle 2 and 3 are vertical angles, what is the value of angle 7? What is the vertical angle to angle 7 here? So what's my measurement? 105 is correct. 105 is correct. And if you look at these two right here are vertical, just like these two are vertical. Okay? Vertical angles always have equivalent measures. The other thing, what are some other things that you know about angle 3 and 7 are also what we call those corresponding, aren't they? And isn't angle 2 and angle 7 alternate exterior angles? So there's 3 different ones you can just check that with to know that you've got the right number. Okay? On your own, you got to find all your angles. Find your angles. Nobody needs a protractor. You're saying measure 1 is 59. Is there any way those two together are going to be 59? So that's going to be wrong. Check if you small and you check the side. Good. 2, 5, 7, 59. Yes. The other one. 7. All right, somebody help me out. What is the measurement of angle 1? Angle 1, Lily.
121.
Good. What's angle 2? Austin, what's angle 2?
Angle 2 is 59.
59. Good. What's angle 3, Bryn? 121. Angle 4? Angle 4 is what, Grace? Good. 121. Angle 5? Angle 5, Olivia? 59. Angle 6? Annie? 121. And finally, angle 7, G?
59.
59. Perfect. Perfect. You know, and as I walked around, I saw some go, well, that is, then this one has to be. And then they went, okay, if that one is, then this one has to be. And so does this one. That was the first thing that I did. Those were the easy ones. Didn't have to do any math. I just had to know the rules. And then easily you can find number 1. And number 1 ended up at 121. And that pretty much gave you all of the others. Got 2 measurements there. That's it. Now, let me ask you this. If I took angles 4 If I added together angles 4, 5, 6, and 7, what had I better come up with? I'm gonna check it. What should I get when I add those together? Madison? 360 degrees. Do these angles add up to 360? Curiosity there. Okay? So that would be one way to check it if I needed to. Because I know if I start here and I go all the way around, I've got 360 degrees. And if my measurements don't add up, then I've got a mistake. That would be one way that I could check it. Be a real simple way to check it. Okay? We've already been talking about the alternate interior and alternate exterior. That's just the rule right there. Just showing it to you. Making sure you've got it. And there's your assignment. Okay? It's not great big. It allows you to get started with it. And I don't know any reason why you're not going to be successful. I know you're going to.